I told you about my chapati story. I used to be very good at cooking chapati, and there was a catering team that I joined in back in, was it 2014, 2013, 2014, and 2015. So we used to make meals for teachers, and I hope teachers, Dennis Mudhe, welcome on board. I hope teachers can actually come in onto this live one day and share their experiences. There's a school in Western called Bunyore Girls. I know most of you know it. So we got a little job there, a side hustle, and we could go there and make chapatis for these teachers who are marking exam. It was an examination center, marking center for the Matiangi, okay? Matiangi people. So it's an interesting story. It's a long story, but I'll talk about it later on. Today I'll just talk about the chapati story. So yes, so I used to make very good chapatis, and remember, these guys would come in and they take 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks we would make good money. So it was sustainable for some of us during the Christmas period. Okay, so I was good at making chapatis, and shout out to Bunyore Girls High School. Hey, the management, thank you for trusting us with your chapatis. So we'd make these chapatis overnight. Another guy who was called, what was his name? Is it Timothy or somebody? This guy was a star in kukanda ile unga ya chapati and mandazis. This guy would make that dough whole night. This guy does not get tired. And it was built, these teenagers. Hey. So he would make that dough for me, and then I would make the chapatis overnight. Okay, so we take one day, we don't sleep, we just make chapatis overnight. And we made chapatis that are so interesting, so good. The ones that ukishika hivi inatoa 2 layers. It was so interesting, and that actually earned me so many jobs after that. So it was a gig for Christmas, but it actually earned me a lot of jobs. I used to also make chapatis for these people who come in to sing the choirs during the New Year Eve or so. So it was interesting. So my chapati story was just long. I got addiction through making these. And I hope my sisters can actually join in one day. I actually taught them how to make chapatis. Imagine that. Those are the days that I still believed that, you know what? A lady must know how to make chapati for her to get married. A wife material must know how to make chapatis. Okay, so I taught them how to make these things, and I got addicted to chapati. I would quit chapati 2 days, and I would come back 7 days in a row to compensate for what I missed in those 2 days. And of course, I thought, I know what to do. Just the same way you people do. You say, I know what to do. I can eat chapati today and then I'll fast tomorrow. I know what to do. I'm not addicted to chapati. So you keep on resisting and fighting the addiction. And yet, when you fight anything, you keep falling for it. So they are busy trying to fight this addiction. I'm a doctor. Now I have the information. I can easily win off chapati. And then somebody gets you eating chapati. You're like, no, I know what to do. At least you don't know what to do, but me, I know what to do. Okay, that ego. So it comes in and sets in. And that's how I struggled. Then I moved from white chapati to brown chapati because I still believed brown was better than white. I ate my chapatis all through. Nothing was getting better in terms of my weight and in terms of my gastritis. And chapati, alcohol, and all these things. So everything that you see me talking about on these platforms, I've been actively involved in. Actively. Everything that I'm talking about. So when you hear me talking about it, you think, huyu na anatuambia tu kwa sababu amesoma kwa vitabu. These are now things he knows better. I don't. But at least I've been experiencing into it. So I've walked the journey and then came out of it. And you see it all over. On my platforms, I share my stories every single day. And I share these stories out because I know it's a story. I've shared my story with the soda, the Coca-Cola. Used to take this Coca-Cola and it was wet, sweating Coca-Cola. By the way, if you take that soda and you put it on a table, leave it for about 30 minutes, you'll not drink it. No way. Pour it in a glass and leave it there on the table for about 20, 30 minutes. You will not drink it. It tastes yuck. But take it when it's still, the bubbles are coming out, it's still fizzing, and then it's cold. The bottle is just sweating. My friends, with some music in the background and some Jack Daniels there with some 2 cubes. Hey. Leka. So you'd enjoy life and think that this is the best thing that ever happened to you. And that's the problem with most of you. We are chasing poverty. We are actually fighting poverty so hard to an extent that any single coin that we get, we want to indulge to actually compensate for what we lacked when we were growing up. Little did I know that those sweet potatoes that we used to take and go to the farm, that strong tea that we used to take that had no sugar, these were the healthiest way. I never knew I'll come back there. I actually thought, why am I being given porridge, fermented porridge without sugar, and then being told to go to the farm and also go take care of ng'ombe? I was so good at taking care of cattle and livestock. So I was wondering, why am I being given porridge and then so told to do all these activities? I mean, porridge is very light for a Luya guy. A Luya teenage, uji. So most of us are actually running away from our traumas. Is it a trauma or is it just a crazy life? So we thought that what we are living in, and mark you, when I was growing up, I never knew about poverty. Of course, we did not have or afford things that would have made us think that we can be rich, eating chapatis, eating bread every single day, the margarine and all this. We never afforded that. So I never saw that as poverty, even in primary school and into early high school. But when I got into high school, where people were flexing their muscles, oh, this is from this family, this is coming from this school, that's when it started hitting me that, maybe my parents are not just working hard enough. That's when it started sinking into my head. And then I came into the urban setup, and then I started realizing, oh, so there are houses on top of each other. so I can live in a house that is actually on top of another. I'm like, where? I will live in that house on top of the other, and I will eat chapati in that house with Coca-Cola. I will make them know that I'm not a guy who will take changa. I'm going to buy Jack Daniels every weekend. So I was running away from my childhood, and I ended up attracting it anyway. So this is what most of you are going through. You constantly run away from your childhood because you think that was the worst childhood ever. But when you are living that childhood, you never identified poverty. We never used to have these perimeter walls that were 12 meters high. We knew each other's, the neighbors. We knew each other. We played together. There were no fences. We could get into a farm where they've actually harvested the groundnuts, and we are busy hitting those stones and removing those groundnuts and eating them. We would rush into a shamba that they've just harvested sweet potatoes. We are busy eating raw sweet potatoes. You've done these things, right? We would go and hit go at neighbors when a neighbor's cow has just given birth. They give it about 1 week, no milking it. No, okay, they milk it, but they don't sell that milk, or they don't use that milk. They simply put it in a gut for a whole week. It ferments. Then all the children are cold there. When you're cold, you come and eat. You drink this milk, which has no sugar. It's just milk that is thick and fermented milk. You drink it and then you celebrate. And now they can start selling milk from that cow. So we used to enjoy this childhood. And growing up was a normal process. But nowadays, children don't enjoy this. Instead of taking that milk in the villages, children are in town setups. So they are taking yogurt. Processed yogurt, and they defend it. Oh, it's organic, it's natural, it's good for the vagina and all this. And you're just using it and you still have recurrent yeast infections. There was the sun. We used to enjoy the sun every time. We run outside, we play outside, we play with others. So exercise was like a lifestyle to us. We enjoyed our hobbies. We never had these hand sanitizers all through. You would run from a stream just to wash your hands in a stream, and you're busy eating sweet potatoes in the other side. You come back home, you want to eat, and before you touch that food, your mother hits your hand. Hey, enda unawe mkono. You didn't even remember it. Okay? And there were no illnesses. We didn't have all these antibiotics that you have. There were no chemists all over. Chemists were, I think, actually, I know, in my area, those who come from Bunyore, they know. Chemists were, there was one that was in Kima, and there's the other one was in Luanda. There was no chemist near us. Nothing. But now chemists are all over. We have a chemist, even a neighbor, the neighboring shop is a chemist. There's a chemist opposite. On your flats. Nowadays you build a flat, and then on the ground floor there's a chemist and a liquor store. So nowadays drugs are everything. And a simple infection. I remember also, to cure watoto, we used to, when you get a cold or some fevers, they used to boil these eucalyptus leaves in a pot, okay? And then we cover ourselves with a blanket, and then we inhale that vapor. We inhale it totally until you sweat profusely. When you come out of there, in fact, in your brain, you're believing, oh, this sweating is actually the disease going. And true to it, you come out of that because of the eucalyptus leaves and the oil that you've inhaled, you're good. There's no common cold again. And then we go run in the rain. We go play outside barefoot. But look at you now. Every small cold, you have to take cold cup or Flugon or Celestamine. Some of you tell us, oh, you know what? Cetirizine does not, my body is used to cetirizine. I need now a stronger one. And then you go for maybe desloratadine or something else. That's expensive. Okay, you want expensive to heal you. So childhood was interesting. Nowadays, we have so many floods. Look at Nairobi, how it is a mess. Floods touching each other. They are building a flat here. It's just coming on the same wall with another. And you're wondering, there is no sunlight in those houses. So houses are having molds. Your children are suffering from weak bones, suffering from low immunity because there's no vitamin D. There is no sunlight. Even in your house, there's no single ray of sunlight. And now you take the same children to boarding schools that have the same buildings, no sunlight. They seated in a class, very boring class. The teacher is so boring, trying to indoctrinate them with this agenda of the rainbow. There's no ventilation. Yes, no ventilation in these houses. So the child is already developing asthma and low immunity. And then you take them to the hospitals every weekend because you have an insurance cover. Now they're taking antibiotics after antibiotics, antihistamines after the other. And you expect them to get better? And now your kitchen is a mess. There's so much wheat. This child comes from the hospital taking antibiotics. As you're coming back home, you've bought them Ribena or Lucozade or Coca-Cola. And then you've added on the list of things that they're eating, you've added on cakes, the queen cakes. You call them the queen cakes, the one that we used to eat and plus the pepper. Hey, so that you can just understand, for you to understand how how rare a queen cake was. My dad would come home with maybe 6 queen cakes or so. We would eat plus the pepper. That's how rare it was. You would actually get excited eating one sausage in a whole year. Yeah, or a meat pie. You would be excited. Those days there was no KFC. You would be excited to see soda. And there were no these big sodas. There was that just Fanta Orange and Blackcurrant and Coca-Cola. Those 3. And Sprite also. And Stoney for the elderly. Now you take that soda, the Coca-Cola soda, and when you belch, it comes out from your nose. You don't want it anymore. You remember these stories? So what happened to us growing up naturally? What happened to us drinking soda once in a year? Or during ceremonies? What happened to us taking seed oils? Somebody will come into the village with a 10 liter of seed oils. Everybody will be bowing. Hey, hey, hey. And that's why Christmas made a lot of sense, because during Christmas Eve, everybody was flexing their muscles. People from town setups were flexing their muscles. At home, people are busy using ghee. People are busy using the animal fats. Nobody was complaining about the smell. I remember we used to use this pig fat to actually cook and apply on our faces so that you were protected from evil spirits. Yeah? You remember that? and even going to hospital was actually discouraged. Why? Because there was this we call it the evil eye. That when a child is actually looked at with the evil eye and then they get the white tongue, you don't take them to hospital, because if you take them to hospital, they get an injection and they die. We used to believe that if a child who has experienced the evil eye, if they end up in a hospital and they get that injection, end of story. So these children will sit there, they are nursed with these herbal products and they're inhaling all that concoction and they get better. And we wonder, okay, kumbe it was just a fungal infection, and we ran to hospitals to take the nystatins. We ran to hospital to take antibiotic injection for a fungal infection. It doesn't make sense to me. At least that this now it doesn't make sense. But that time, I was wonder, why is it that these people are not allowing these children to go to hospital? But it was just a weak immunity and a fungal infection was coming. So how do we solve it? Wash this child or bath this child on the sun, air their back to the sun and massage their legs so that you can boost their vitamin D. Apply some herbals on them and then hydrate them adequately. And then this child is okay. But the same remedy, now you have low immunity, you have to get a vitamin D supplement, but you're told not to enjoy the sun because the sun will cause you skin cancer, but take a vitamin D supplement. They demonize the sun only to give you vitamin D supplements and vitamin K2 and K3. They demonize cholesterol only to give you antibiotics to fix your immunity. How is that even making sense? So what happened to growing up? So welcome to the Testimonial Tuesdays. Welcome to Testimonial Tuesdays. This is a home where you share your testimony to inspire other people. On my 49th hour of fasting, my first time trying 72 hours of fasting. Thank you, Doc. I've lost 10 kgs from when I started following your teachings. Faith Gitari, imagine that. The first time she's attempting a 72-hour fast and it's just going on and on. She's at the 49th hour, already past the 48th hour. By the time you're crossing that 48th hour, there's no hunger pangs. Energy comes from somewhere you can't even understand. There's super energy. And you sleep, you wake up, you're already in the 60th hour. Oh, amazing. Amazing. You people think it's so hard. It is only hard to get to the 48th hour. And actually the 44th to the 48th hour, those are the hardest ones because you're already thinking about how to cook and what to eat. So it becomes the hardest. But when you cross that bridge, there's no hunger pangs anymore. It becomes even interesting. You want even to do more. You want to even go further. Welcome to the UK, so thank you. Thank you. Halima Hussein is saying, especially at pipeline. You've seen that, right? In Nairobi pipeline, you've seen what is happening. No light. Clothes take a lot of time before they dry up. And you people, you have those challenges already. But you still wear you still air your undies in the bathroom. You air your underwears in the bathroom and then you put a towel on top of them. And then you wonder where you're getting all these recurrent fungal infections. There's a child in that village there who is busy running and sitting on stones that are hot, running and taking a shower or a bath in the stream, coming back to air themselves on a stone. And here, you are denying your children sunlight and you want to compare them with the children in the village. It's not possible. Well, yours knows a PS5. Well, yours knows how to scroll porn sites because you've given them the internet. Well, yours knows all the channels on TV and what is going on. But are they healthy? They're just being indoctrinated. And you think setups of the town setups are not good to raise children. They are not. They are noisy. They are chaotic. A lot of commotion. A lot of people. And nowadays, even those homesteads that you consider good, those homesteads have cabros everywhere. The whole compound is covered in cabros. And then they write on grass, do not step on grass. I mean, what are you saying? Don't step on grass. And even that grass is artificial grass. Hey, now you want us to give you a password before we get into your gate, and you think you've made it in life. That queen cake pepper calls me by my second name. I know. Hey. Now listen. My dad used to come home with these sweet bananas. You know those small bananas that are so sweet? I used to know they're coming from Kisii. So my younger sister was so addicted to these bananas, okay? So she would eat them at 2 a.m. At night. Imagine waking me up to serve her with the bananas at night. She eats and then she says, nimetosheka, and then she sleeps. I'm like, ay. So my dad would share those sweet bananas to all of us. Maybe 4 or something. Now, me being the hungry one, I would eat mine plus the pills. Hey, Lewis, poverty. So I would eat mine plus the pills so fast. I didn't know that my sisters have hid theirs. Now, after you've eaten yours, ladies, you're so crazy. You actually start this thing so. So she hides her bananas. Now I have to finish mine. And then immediately you finish yours, you start eating hers one by one and in a slow pace. Same to potato crisps. There was something, you know. Hey. So now she has to eat that banana slowly as I just niko hapo naangusha tu mate. Nasema wewe. Wewe. And then we would in the morning, of course, it's time for me to revenge because there was this bread. You guys remember when bread was 13 and 18 shillings? Do you remember? There was bread that was called United. Leave alone Sunblessed. There was a bread that was called United that was yellow inside. And the first bread that came with slices. Hey! So let me tell you a story. Wheat products. So this bread, the last slices, in some bread they were bigger. Okay. So in the morning when you want to leave for school, sinilinyimwa ndizi jana. She denied me the bananas yesterday. I'll be the first one to wake up. I'm not going anywhere because I would still go back to sleep so that she gets late, so that at school we are punished together. So she used to get mad every time because she wakes up early, prepares early, but I'll make her late, and then we are whipped together. So I used to enjoy that. Now, she denied me bananas yesterday. Now, in the morning, I've woken up earlier than her. I go and pick that piece because today I'm eating this piece, tomorrow is her. So I go, it's her day, but I'll still go and pick that bigger piece and then hide it. And then pretend I'm sleeping. She does her chores. When she's going to pick the bread, that bigger piece is not there. Now it's 4 in the morning. Man, growing up was just interesting. That bread, you would eat that bread without water, without anything, just saliva. It was so awesome. And now look at me now telling you, avoid bread. Ay, daktari. Ati avoid what? Wewe. Tuambia tuache mkate. Haiwezekani. Wewe kaa huko bana, tutafast tu. Huh? One good Christmas day, I had to walk more than 10 kilometers to a mini town just to enjoy queen cake and soda. We used to do that, bro. We used to changa money. We would save a shilling every day. The month of November and December, we would save a shilling every day. Anyhow, to just get 18 shillings or 19 shillings or 30 shillings for us to wear these new Christmas clothes and some goggles and walk in the markets and buy ice cream and suck it as we walk and buy sugarcane in Western. A whole sugarcane goes for 10 shillings. Imagine that. A whole bunch of bananas goes for about 20, 30 shillings. Nowadays they have been indoctrinated. Now they've changed. But a whole bunch of bananas was going for about 30 shillings or so. If so much is 30, about 20, 30 there. And then when I went to Nakuru for my first course, I bought a banana, one banana at 5 bob. I was so shocked. I was like, no wonder watoto wa Western wanakwanga wamekuwa. They look that big. Imagine you've come from somewhere where you buy 6 bananas at 20 shillings. Now I have to buy 1 banana at 5 shillings. I'm looking at this guy and then 10 shillings. I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, no way. And the guy is like, I'm serious. I'm like, no way. The village in me cannot allow me to buy 1 banana at 10 shillings. Never. Walini humble kiburi mbaya. So yes, we used to wear these goggles and now carry that money. These wallets that you will open them and they're like, you know that. And we put those shillings there. We moved to the centers, and now we are the Sonkos there. We buy everything we want to buy and enjoy it. Christmas was something, my friend. Yeah. And then there was this pastor called Pastor Tinga. He's put up a crusade. And now we have to listen to music and dance. Acha niachie story up. Only people from Bunyore can relate to what I'm saying. Childhood was interesting. So you just go to town to buy a queen cake, to enjoy the queen cake plus soda, and then you eat that paper as you walk. You eat that paper of queen cake as you walk home. It was awesome. Yes, Pastor Tinga. I hope he's still alive. These are people, pastor, who talk from the chest. They're like, hallelujah. You see now Christ is coming. Yes, wamezaliwa. This is true. It's true, he has been born again. So by the time going home, I'm so comfortable. I feel good about it. And then now you see at home, my mother came back earlier. She's busy preparing these chapos. And then you get home now, they've slaughtered that Luhya chicken, the kienyeji one, the one that you will struggle with the bone to break so that you get the bone marrow. And there are chapatis there, and you do 2 chapatis, and 2 are so many. By the way, if you go to Western and order food in a kibanda for 100 shillings, please be very careful, okay? So yes, so you eat these 2 chapatis plus some soup and that drumstick, and now Christmas is done. And now you listen to the jingle bells. You listen, hey man, nowadays Christmas. Yeye mnasema mko na Christmas, hamna. Mko town, there's a lot of noise in towns, and you're saying you have Christmas. No, you don't. No, you don't.